Hello, I'm Pastor Joe, and welcome to this week's 2-Minute Tuesdays Together. We're here in the kitchen because I'm kind of babysitting some lasagna that's in the oven, but I want to continue our conversation about being Presbyterian. So over the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about what it means to be Presbyterian, and last year I did a video on what does the word Presbyterian mean, and I had linked into that a few weeks ago. Then we looked at a couple of sayings, phrases that really are more than just phrases, but they speak to part of our belief in who we are. And so today I want to turn our attention to something maybe a little bit more complicated, and where we start kind of seeing some differences between us and other denominations, and that is generally we're going to be looking at sacraments, but more specifically we're going to be looking at baptism. Now, sacraments is a fancy word that basically means a sacred thing or something that is holy. And as Presbyterians, we believe that there are two sacraments, two commands specifically that Jesus gave us, and that is to baptize and to have communion. Those are the two sacraments that we believe in. So today I want us to look at baptism. The next time we're going to be looking at communion. So let's get 2 minutes on the clock and let's go. When we talk about baptism from a Presbyterian perspective, let me begin by saying we believe in one baptism. We do not rebaptize someone. So it doesn't matter if you were baptized as a child, as an infant, or as a youth, or as an adult, it's one baptism. All right? And the reason we believe that is baptism is less about us and what we're saying and more about God and God's promises and God's saving work. That never needs renewing. Now, we can reaffirm our baptism vows. We can do some things like that, but we can only do one baptism because, again, it's about God and not about us. Baptism, in a short way of understanding, it symbolizes the washing away of our sins. Baptism is not that magic moment that our sins are forgiven. It's not the magic moment our sins are cleansed from us. That happened through Jesus Christ and His work on the cross. So baptism is an image of our sins being washed away. It is, in essence, dying with Christ and rising with Christ. No matter the method of what it's done, that's the symbolism of it. And it reminds us of what God did in Jesus Christ, God's work through Jesus Christ, what God has done for us through Jesus Christ. As Presbyterians, we do baptize infants. We believe in infant baptism. And at infant baptism, a parent claims God's promises on their child's behalf. As a youth or an adult, you're claiming that on your own. But when parents make that promise, they're promising to raise that child in the family of faith until they can claim it on their own. Now, we believe in 3 methods of baptism: sprinkling, pouring, and immersion. We can do all 3. We're typically set up to immerse or to sprinkle. And I would also say, I think it's important to understand that there's sort of this 3-way relationship in baptism. You got God and God's promises. You have the person being baptized or the parent having their child baptized, and then you have the congregation. This is a congregational act on behalf of the larger church. It's not just an individual thing. All right. That's right at 2 minutes, I believe. That is a very quick overview of baptism from a Presbyterian standpoint. It is just kind of a brief view, but I hope you have found it helpful. I hope that maybe it's helped you think about what it is that we do. And if you have, I hope that you'll share this video with others. I hope you will hit like. And if you haven't already, take just a moment and hit subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you the next time we get together.